You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What is going down, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, once again, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Let me start off by wishing all the fathers out there a happy Father's Day, including myself. A lot to talk about today, guys. I'm a little bit under the weather again. As we know, it is summertime, and man, it is crazy out here. You sweat like a dog, and then when you get into the AC, it tends to make you sick sometimes. So that's pretty much what I'm going through right now. But fuck it, I'm here. I'm here for you, my listeners, and Dragon Ball and video game fans. Let's get into it. All right. Now, I'm going to start with episode 95 today. Just watched it earlier on. It was one of my favorite episodes as of late, actually. Loved it. As you guys know, Frieza is one of my favorite characters in the Dragon Ball universe. He's in my top 3. You got Frieza, you got Vegeta, and you have Tien Shinhan. So, this episode starts out with some would-be assassins. It looked like at least 3 to 4 dozen, probably more, trying to stop them from, and I'm mentioning and meaning Frieza and Goku, trying to stop them from getting to the tournament in time so they would be disqualified. Excuse me. But I guess they didn't know who they were fucking with. Okay. Frieza basically showed his ass. He pretty much murdered everybody. Goku was not pleased with the murdering, but Frieza did it anyway because he's Frieza. And he basically demonstrated what he was going through this whole time he was in hell, if you will. He basically had to use his mind and train his mind to subdue what was actually going on in his head. And in retrospect, it made him stronger, and it made him able to sustain his golden form without draining his energy. So I've said this earlier on in another podcast, man. I was kind of upset when the Resurrection of F movie came out, which I loved, but the thing I hated was the fact that when he died and they killed him off or whatever, he had so much potential. Like I said, he had never trained before up until that movie, and he attained a new form off of training for just a little bit of time. So I was like, well, basically imagine what he could be if he actually trained like everybody else. If he trained like Goku, if he trained like Vegeta and some of the other Z fighters, imagine what he could be, how strong he could become. And I felt that he wasn't going to be able to live up to that potential. But Toriyama had some up his sleeve, and here we are again looking at Frieza, and he's about to be he's going to join the squad, and he's going to be participating in this tournament. Frieza kills everyone. And there is somebody that one of the guys from the other universe was sent to kill and take out Frieza. Okay. He thought that the energy from the god of destruction would be strong enough to subdue him and kill him. And they wouldn't make the tournament, and Universe 7 would just be destroyed. Sorry. I'm a little bit under the weather. You guys just bear with me here. But yeah, basically, they didn't take into factor what I just mentioned as far as Frieza in his golden form. They didn't think that he would be able to handle this energy, but he did. He actually handled it. And what I find is crazy is that after Frieza showed them that, hey, you guys, I'm stronger now. This doesn't affect me like you thought it would. He basically turned it. Goku let his guard down and he put it on Goku. He basically threw it on Goku. Goku was stuck. And they were going to be late to the tournament. They were not going to make it. And while Goku was stuck inside of this energy field that was trying to keep him there and he couldn't escape, Frieza was trying to make a deal with the other universe, trying to join their team, trying to get brought back, resurrected, to fight for them. But that's when Beerus and Whis came down. Beerus released Goku from the sphere and then basically caught Frieza trying to do, his dirty little deeds or whatnot. So then they basically commenced to letting Frieza and Goku fight. And basically whoever lands the first punch won, because they didn't have time to really fight. They had to make it to the tournament in time. So they ended up tying, hitting each other. Goku was actually in his base form when this was taking place, which kind of has me a little confused because Goku was in his base form, trying to get out the sphere. I don't know why he just didn't go God form and get out of it. Frieza was in his golden form when he broke free from the sphere. But Beerus and Whis were saying that they thought that Goku and Frieza are evenly matched. And then they actually went on to say they were impressed with how far Frieza has come up until this point. And Frieza in the back of his mind is like, okay, you know what? I'm going to join you guys' team. But when the opportunity, arises, I'm going to fuck you guys up. And basically he was talking about Beerus. Because if you guys don't know, what you probably do, Beerus had everyone shook. He had Frieza shook back in the day, when everybody thought Frieza was just the end all be all. And now, in my opinion, Frieza is very dangerous. And that's why I love him so much, because he's so, you cannot trust him. I mean, and if they don't know this by now, they don't know anything. Okay. You cannot trust him. And as soon as he gets an opportunity, he's going to cut your throat. It's just, it's going to happen. And he's now that he's learned that he can become stronger if he trains and if he studies and learns. I mean, he's going to do that now. So as long as Frieza's training now and he's doing all the things that everybody else is doing, man, he's a threat. He's a threat to everybody, Beerus included, the god of destruction, and anybody else who's trying to oppose. So, like I said, he's on par with Goku and Vegeta and them now. And they're coming up being on par with Beerus and some of the other Lord of Destructions. So they're going to eventually, if this keeps going on, they're going to eventually surpass all these gods. And I'm putting Frieza in that discussion as well now, because Frieza was just a gifted alien. He was just born just strong, just born like that. And now he's found out that he can be more. So everybody better watch out. I mean, this tournament could go all sorts of ways. I just can't wait. I don't know what's going to happen, man. When you got Frieza on your squad, nobody's safe. Okay. Nobody is safe. So let's find out what's going to happen. They ended up, they're heading to the tournament now. The arena has finally been built. It's about to get ugly. Cannot wait. But this was a great episode. It really showed Frieza's what he's learned. It was kind of like a Frieza special episode, if you will, focusing on him, and I'm glad that they did that. So it just makes you wonder what's going to happen next. Oh, can't wait. That's pretty much the episode 95 in a nutshell. Now I want to talk about something else, guys, and you may have heard, you may have not have heard of it, but we're going to get into it in a minute. All right, guys. The next thing I want to talk about is it's kind of surprising to me. Got some new blood, it looks like, that might be joining the ranks in the gaming community. And I'm talking about Atari. Yes, Atari. One of the first consoles to gain fame for their video games. Okay? Yeah, the Atari 2600 and so on and so forth. They claim that they have a system that they are going to be putting out. There's no date. They didn't specify any time frame. They just said that it is true and it will be coming out sometime in the future. That's pretty much all we know. But the main thing is it is a new system. I don't know what to think about this. In a way, it's kind of cool, I think, because, sometimes you need a little change. I mean, who knows? This system could be revolutionary. I don't know. We don't know. This could take over the world and become synonymous and become 10 years from now. We could be talking about this new system. Like, I remember when Atari first announced this system, and they're a powerhouse now. They could be the next Sony, the next Nintendo, or whatever. Who knows? We don't. Nobody knows. But right now, just from the outside looking in, I mean, there's not a lot of room. In my opinion, right now. I mean, you got Sony, which is hand over fist taking over the industry. I mean, they're at least double over everybody else. You got the Nintendo fanboys and fangirls out there throwing their money at Nintendo every which way. And then you got Xbox, who are just, you got their fanboys too, who, everybody has a place right now, regardless of what place they're in, first, second, third. They're in the market and strong enough to be floating and I guess making some kind of profit right now. So another system into that mix, man, it could spell disaster for somebody. And 9 times out of 10, that's usually the new system in the game. So I don't know. At first I thought, well, this could be like what Nintendo did with the mini console that they put out, that basically they sold out of and nobody can get a hold of anymore, which I think they had like 30 classic Nintendo games on it. It was like a mini Nintendo box. At first I thought that was something like that. Maybe they might put out an Atari box with all their games or whatever, but they stated that this system is actually uses PC technology. So and they also said that the system has been years in the making. So knowing those two facts right there, I've come to the conclusion that the system's going to be more powerful. We know that if they've been working on it for years, number one, and then if it's using PC technology, I'm thinking maybe it could be another Steam box or something like that. If that's the case, the market doesn't look pretty good for that. I mean, just another Steam box from Atari. I don't see them really doing too much with that. Now, if they're talking about a brand new system competing with Sony and Microsoft, then man, I don't know who knows what this could be. I mean, I remember the Jaguar back in the day. It was overpriced in my opinion. I also remember the Atari Lynx. That was dope. I loved me some Atari Lynx. But this system, man, I don't know. I'm curious to know what it is. I'm curious to know how powerful it would be, and of course the price point on this. Yeah, man. I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll see what they have in mind, what developers they're working with, and I guess we can find all that out and draw our own opinions and conclusions. But as of right now, seems to be what's going on. We do know there's a new system coming sometime soon. Don't know when though. And by soon, I mean, I'm going to say within the next 2 years or so, something like that. Maybe not next E3, but who knows? We could find some more out by then. If they're talking about it now and they're not denying anything now, I'm guessing they want people to know that it's on the horizon. So just be on the lookout for any news, and I'll keep you guys posted if I hear anything. Best believe that. The next thing I want to talk about is the last thing I want to talk about, and I haven't been able to get this off my mind. It's been on my mind ever since E3, and I mean, and that is Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I mean, this game is a gift and a curse. It's a gift because this is what I've been waiting for, and I'm quite sure many of you out there listening feel the same way. It's something we've been waiting for our entire lives. If you're a competitive fighter, if you like competitive fighting games, then you feel this way probably. But on the other hand, the curse is that it doesn't come out until the first quarter of 2018. So we at least easily have 6 months to wait on this before we get to enjoy this masterpiece that we saw at E3, which is only, let me also mention, 20% complete. And it already looked better than Xenoverse 2 at only 20%. Yeah, so that's a gift and a curse, okay? I cannot get that out of my mind. I cannot wait to play this game. I cannot wait to get a hold of the roster and see who was going to be on this. That's what I wanted to kind of discuss a little bit here. I'm going to also do a video on this, actual discussion as far as who I think is going to make the cut. And, we're just going to discuss the roster and how all that goes together. But yeah, I've been wondering and thinking about that. And I already got an idea of what direction they're taking with this, because this is a competitive fighting game. If you pay attention to the videos on the demo that they have at E3, there is, of course, you guys know 6 playable characters. But if you look to the left and to the right of the selection screen, you see boxes that are blank, and they look exactly like the boxes that the 6 playable characters are in. Okay. And if you count all those boxes together, you get 24. You get the number 24. So I'm thinking that it's going to be 24 characters day one when the game launches. Now, I'm quite sure they might have some DLC stuff planned. I'm pretty certain that there is going to be some DLC coming, but I'm focused on who's going to be available day one when the game drops. Okay. And they also stated that they wanted to put a variety of different characters on there, for the playability. They didn't want everybody to be the same or whatnot. So there's not going to be any wasted slots in this game. There's not going to be, 3 Gokus and 3 Vegetas and 2 or 3 Gohans. It's just not going to happen because they're wasting slots. And they explain that, it takes 3 to 6 months to do one character, to work on one character. Okay. That's why it's taking so long for Hyper Dragon Ball Z to add more characters, man. I mean, they're working on 4 extra characters right now, and it's time consuming. You know what I mean? It's very time consuming. But back to Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Yeah, it's going to be 24 slots. So I'm struggling in my mind trying to figure out who is going to make the cut. And, you guys know who I want in the game. I mean, you probably can guess. 2 of my favorite characters are already on the game, and the fact that Super Vegeta is the one they chose to emulate on this game as opposed to his other versions just made my fucking day. Okay, because that is my favorite version of Vegeta, is Super Vegeta. And Majin Vegeta was cool, and all that. Don't get me wrong, Super Saiyan God Vegeta is cool, but I always loved the Super Vegeta. That's just my favorite. But he's in the game. They even got his victory pose, which is so fucking sweet. Tastes just like nectar. But and then you guys know Frieza is another one of my favorites. So he's look, I just need one more character to make my life complete. And I think you guys could probably guess. If you've heard 2 or 3 of my podcasts, you probably already know the answer to this. Yes, his name is Tien Shinhan, the 3-eyed guy. Yes, the silent warrior. That boy right there. And I just, I'm just wondering who's going to make this cut. I actually devised a little list. And I think this is 22 characters right now that I have. I'm still struggling for the last 2, but I mean, right now, let me just name some out real quick to you. Let me just give you a little taste. I have Vegeta, Goku, Gohan, Majin Buu, Frieza, and Cell, which is they are already in the game. Okay. Next, I have Gotenks because I don't see them putting Kid Trunks, and Kid Gotenks in the game. Not separately. Now maybe combined like Gotenks, that'd be dope. Then they have their Super Saiyan transformation, maybe all of that. I see that happening. I also have Zarbon, Dodoria. The possibility for them getting on is slim, but it's not out of the question. I also have Master Roshi. I would love for them to put Master Roshi in this game. I really would. He needs to be in this game, man. Come on, guys. Let's not argue here with this one. Okay, we have Piccolo, we have Yamcha, Krillin, Android 17, Tien Shinhan, Trunks, Brawly, number 18, and we have Raditz, we have Nappa, we have Beerus, and we have Hit. That I think is 22 characters. Okay, there's 2 more open. Please feel free to comment on this list if you don't agree or if you think I'm missing somebody. Yeah, let me know. But I struggle with this list a little bit because I have to think about Dragon Ball Super as well, because this is all taking place as it's going on, and I left those other 2 slots open because I think they're going to add a couple characters from Super, a couple other characters from Super. It could be Jiren. They're about to, we're about to find out more about him. He looks awesome from the little bit of footage that, I've seen, and that's just in the intro of the show. And everybody's talking about him, Topo is talking about him, how raw he is or whatever. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Also, Black Goku. I didn't put Black Goku on there, but I'm quite sure he'll probably make the cut because he's pretty popular amongst the fans of Super right now. So, other than that, the DLC, there's DLC. And these guys I just mentioned could probably be DLC characters as well. But, I'm thinking they have to put the squad, they have to put the main squad, the Z team, on the game. And that I'm talking about Krillin, I'm talking about Trunks, Tien, and even Yamcha. On there. Now, Chaozu, I mean, I see him being maybe like a support character for maybe Tien, maybe trying to do something like that. But other than that, I don't see them wasting a slot on Chaozu like that. But the main core is what I see. And that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, that's pretty much what I think the direction is going. I'm going to talk about this a little bit also, like I said, on my YouTube video. If you guys want to leave a comment, if you guys want to give me a shout out, have any questions, concerns, you can hit me on Twitter at Studio MacGyver. You can also email me, Studio MacGyver Music with a K at yahoo.com. I just want to thank you guys for listening, bearing with me today on this episode. And like I always say, you have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.